I think we have a tremendous party. And you know what I can't name? I can't name one Democrat. I mean, I look at the Democrats, they're in total disarray. They have a new person named Crockett. I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. And they said, she's the future of the party. I said, you have to be kidding. I don't know what they're going to do.
Jasmine Crockett is fake Ghetto.
Mr. Reagan.
All right, before we start, I've got a great new sponsor for the show, Gold Co. If you want to diversify your portfolio, protect your savings, safeguard your retirement, try investing in gold with Gold Co. Go to MrReaganLikesGold.com or call 844-696-GOLD or click on the link in the description below. Representative Jasmine Crockett has become one of the most talked about Democrats in Congress today. She's loud, she's brash, she's in your face. And according to some, she's for real, yo. But here's the problem. That realness is fake. That's right, Jasmine Crockett is fake Ghetto.
I want them to go to work. They want to go to work. And we want to make sure that the kiddos don't necessarily have to be dropped off with their grandparents. We want to make sure that they are actually learning and being enriched. I think that betters all of us. So those are probably the two major points that I'd have to push for specifically for District 30.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at, calm down. Calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do. So I'm trying to get
Ms. Crockett, you're not recognized. Ms. Crockett.
I can't hear you with your yelling.
You don't want
calm
me to
down.
No,
Can you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I come and talk shit about her, y'all gonna have a problem.
Because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So
you should have cared that somebody was there to protect you, but instead you want to play games because you found out that it was your leader that decided that he wanted to propagate an insurrection on our country. So don't tell me that you care about the Constitution, because you don't.
when I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
Today, I'm going to lay out the case that her entire hood persona is a carefully constructed act manufactured for political clout, social media fame, and votes. Because when you look past the dramatic makeup, the long nails, the massive eyelashes, the ghetto speak, well, you do not find the struggle. You don't find the streets. What you do find is a privileged girl from the suburbs, a product of private schools, and a member of America's elite. All right, let's break it all down, homies. First, let's talk about Jasmine Crockett's background. This woman grew up in a stable middle-class family. Her father, a pastor. Her mother, a school administrator. This is not exactly surviving the projects. She attended private schools. One was called Mary Institute. Tuition runs at about $34,900 per year. Later, she graduated from Rhodes College, another private liberal arts college, around $55,000 per year. And she topped it all off with a law degree from the University of Houston. Now, does this sound like a ghetto upbringing to you? Of course not. Jasmine Crockett's hood rat attitude is a carefully curated facade. She is no different than a Hollywood actress playing a role. Sound familiar? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not really the Congresswoman of New York's 14th Congressional District. She is essentially an actress. Critics across conservative media and X have pointed out that Jasmine's upbringing and education are as white picket fence as they come. Jason Whitlock nailed it when he said they took a little suburban black girl next door and dressed her up as a Yas queen from the ghetto. But it's not just her background that exposes her. It is the radical transformation of her speech and her appearance. Older videos of Crockett show a calm, measured woman speaking articulately, respectfully, professionally. Fast forward to today, and what do you see? Animated gestures, yelling, clapbacks, and the gratuitous use of African-American vernacular English, otherwise known as ghetto speak. And of course, she changed her whole look. Flashy lashes, flamboyant nails, the full Love and Hip Hop Glam Squad treatment. But it's all part of the act. Tim Young said it best on X. He wrote, Jasmine Crockett's ghetto speak is all an act. Democrats like to use fake accents because they think it connects them with the poor. And it's true. This is just another sad example of a Democrat cosplaying hood culture to score political points. But to her credit, she does it a lot more convincingly than AOC.
I'm proud to be a bartender. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working retail, folding clothes for other people to buy. There is nothing wrong with preparing the food that your neighbors will eat.
And don't even get me started on Hillary Clinton.
When those bones get up, and when that spirit is breathed into them, and they start climbing out of that valley, the first place they go is to register to vote.
Now, you might ask, why would Jasmine Crockett do this? Jasmine Crockett doesn't have to pretend to be black. She's actually black. But you know what? The loud, proud, aggressive black woman archetype, this is politically profitable. Democrats love weaponizing stereotypes. It keeps racial divisions alive, and it paints conservatives as oppressors. And Jasmine Crockett knows this. Her viral spat with Marjorie Taylor Greene was spontaneous, maybe, but I also think it was strategic. Her over-the-top moment about Ted Cruz, same thing. Every curse word, every finger snap, every exaggerated hand clap, it's all a calculated move to manufacture outrage and go viral on TikTok and to build her brand. My final thoughts on all of this in one moment. First, of course, I have to talk about my amazing sponsor. Attention, retirement savers. JP Morgan predicts a 2025 recession as tariffs have rattled the markets. And according to Forbes, 2025 recession risks just increased significantly. And that's the thing about the global economy. Markets are just darn hard to predict. And that's why thousands of hardworking Americans are turning to the award-winning precious metals company, Goldco. And if you are worried about market instability or a potential recession, my partners over at Goldco are offering you a free 2025 gold and silver kit. Plus, you could get an unlimited instant match in bonus silver for qualified accounts. Call 844-696-GOLD or visit MrReaganLikesGold.com. Find out how you can help diversify your savings tax and penalty free today. That's 844-696-GOLD or visit MrReaganLikesGold.com. Look, folks, this is not being real, okay? This is being fake for fame. This is cultural cosplay. Honestly, this should be insulting to any black American who actually grew up in tough circumstances. Jasmine Crockett's defenders would argue that, you know what, identity is complicated. And, you know, black people, they do this thing called code switching. When they talk to black people, they have to sound black. When they talk to white people, they have to sound white. Well, you know what code switching is called when white people do it? Because we don't speak the same way when we're with our friends and when we're at the office, you know, right? So we code switch too. You know what we call that? Professionalism. But when you dramatically alter your speech, your appearance, and your behavior for the sole purpose of being relatable to a certain demographic, to pretending that you're just like them, or to gain clout, you know what? You're not code switching. You're lying. You're manipulating. You are turning sometimes very real struggles of impoverished, poorly educated Americans, and you're turning this into a political costume for your own benefit. It's kind of disgusting. And let's be clear, Jasmine Crockett's performance feeds into the worst stereotypes about black Americans. They're aggressive, they're loud, they're crass, they're unprofessional. She is perpetuating these stereotypes, and she's doing it for applause from woke white liberals who think that the Yas Queen feminism is the pinnacle of virtue. It is grotesque. Now, some of you might say, well, aren't you being a little harsh, Mr. Reagan? No, because you know what? Imagine it was the other way around. Imagine there was a white politician who grew up in New England, rich parents, private school, right? And he ran for office and he started talking like this, right? He's from the South now all of a sudden, right? I can't even do a Southern accent, but you get the idea. He started trying to sound like a redneck. Everyone on the left would call him out for this. He would be lambasted as a phony. And you know what? To be honest, a lot of conservatives would criticize that as well. Because you know what we are? We're honest. But Democrats, they don't criticize Jasmine Crockett. Nobody seems to. And it is, frankly, ridiculous. Because Jasmine Crockett is doing this exact thing, right? But the mainstream media, they just clap like trained seals. But not here. Not on my show. We see it for what it is. A fraud, a manipulation, an insult to the very voters that she claims to respect. Jasmine Crockett is not keeping it real. She's keeping it strategic. And it's working. For now. But Americans are waking up. We are sick of the lies. We're sick of the performative outrage. We are sick of the fake Ghetto act. And if Jasmine Crockett thinks that she can ride this charade all the way to national stardom, I don't know, maybe she will. But in the long run, I don't think it's going to help the Democrat Party. I think it's just another fake politician, just like Kamala Harris, just like AOC, just like Hillary Clinton. All right, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And remember, it is not that our liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much. That is not so. Good night.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.